Hey there everyone, welcome back to my Ghost of Tsushima videos. This is the third video I'm making in regards to the armor showcase. I've done the Gosaku armor and I've done the Ghost armor. Now I'm going to do Tadayori's armor. So Tadayori's armor is based around the archery skills. If you like to keep your distance and pick your enemies off at long range, then this is the armor for you. I haven't fully upgraded on New Game Plus, but when you upgrade it on a regular playthrough, these are the attributes that you're going to get. The increasing knocking and reload speed by 30%, increases total concentration time by 2 seconds, and headshots restore 50% of the concentration meter. That there is just what you would get if you upgraded it completely. 45% knocking and reload and 3 seconds concentration, but takes a lot of resources. The red and black cosmetics I have there are for New Game Plus as well, so I have it available at the minute, but got to work to get it as always. Looks really cool. These are the charms that I use. If you're going to use Tadayori's armor, like I say, it's up to you what you want to do, but I highly recommend that you start with the charm of Azumino Asura, where arrows are silent on impact, because you'd be surprised the difference it makes when the Mongols can't hear the arrows hitting their friends, whether it be in the torso or in the head. So I strongly recommend you use that one. The other one I really advise you to use is this one, the charm of Izanagi. Landing a headshot has a 40% chance to return an arrow. And of course the two charms of fortune, that increases the percentages of the chances of things happening, so that will put this one up to about 80%, I believe. It's not too bad. It means that most of the time you're going to get an arrow back if you land a headshot. I also added the charm of precision just to increase arrow damage in case I miss a head and it hits the torso, it could kill. And a further 15% increase to reload and knocking speeds, which stacks up very well with the armor's attributes. Here's the little display if you want to just have a look at them all. But this is the build that I would primarily go with if I'm using Tadayori's armor. I find it to be the most effective. Now, you can have arrows be returned to you if just using the standard arrows or the heavy arrows. I'm not sure it works for the flame or the explosive arrows. So we're starting out here with capping a few of the straw hats. 3 headshots. Missed that one and got it. Now, you see, I had all 4 arrows returned to me when I hit them in the head with that. That was all 4. I fired 5 arrows and the 5th one did hit, but it didn't hit the head. These are the heavy arrows, see? Use them to crack open enemies' headgear. If you spot an enemy that's got headgear on, use the heavy arrows to crack through it if you haven't figured that one out already. Some people don't know about it. Now see, a number of my arrows are returned there, but not all of them were. This is how effective it is if you're riding around on the back of a horse. Boom. Didn't get an arrow, but got the kill. Now quite often I fire explosive arrows just to throw them off or damage a few of them, especially the leaders. You see, here's the heavy arrows. Again, they're being refunded. Helmets are not. Concentration meter keeps recharging every time I get a headshot, 50%. Look at that, amazing. This here is an example of what I would do if I was going to ambush a patrol. Normally what I do is I hit them with an explosive arrow to set them all on fire and stop them dead in their tracks and heavily damage them. See, that's what you can do. Unfortunately I shot the horse as well. But when they're on fire and they're trying to get their bearings, they're not moving, they're just taking damage. And while they're standing there not moving, switch back to the standard bow and just cap their heads. Pop, pop, pop. As always, the leaders are the toughest to get rid of. And there's always that one that runs away, somehow. This territory here has 2 eagles in it, for example. Whenever the eagles are floating around, always get rid of them as soon as you can. Because if you're hiding, well, it doesn't take much for them to actually spot you. Now what I was doing here was I was keeping my distance while moving around at the same time. Because the thing about Tadayori's armor is what makes it very interesting. It enhances the archery skills, but you can use the samurai, the ghost, and the archery skills very effectively when you use this armor. It's a combination of all 3. Enhances the archery, but if you add the right sort of moves, or you put specific charms on, you can enhance the ghost abilities and you can still be a really good samurai. Like here, if I need to get up close and personal, I'm still going to kill them. I'm moving around. You don't have to assassinate everyone at close range, you can do it at long range as well. It's very cool doing it this way. So you see, I'm keeping my distance, setting them all on fire, blowing them up. Took them a while to figure out what the hell was going on. Headshots. This part here, this is a little bit different. I decided to charge into this territory while using a combination of samurai, ghost, and archery skills. This is how I would go about doing it. My advice is use the explosive arrows in close proximity. This was just basically an experiment, but it actually worked out very well. So I may be the archer, but I'm still in this place just tearing them all up. There we are, look, bang. Explosive arrow. Throw a few sticky bombs. A combination of sticky bombs and explosive arrows is quite deadly. Boom, there we are, my ghost dance is maxed out now. See how easily you killed them all? A little bit of Wrath of Flame to go with it. Ouch. And because you can kill them in large numbers at long distance, you can get your ghost dance very easily. Now bear in mind, I'm not using the charm of Ghostly Fury on this, so if I take a hit, I'm going to lose it. You know, I'm just going to have to kill another 7 Mongols to get it back. Because, I mean, as effective as the charm of Ghostly Fury is, I don't always use it. But you can use it on any armor if you want. You could use it on this one too if you want to. I mean, can you imagine? Yikes. So this part here, the village, they have hostages here, you see. Now, quite often when I attack villages that have got hostages in them, I don't often use the bow and arrow. Like, primarily that is, like Tadayori's armor. I don't really use it. I prefer to get up close and personal, but this goes to show you can do it that way. Just pick them off one by one, long distance. And of course, like, the arrows are silent as well, because a lot of the time the Mongols will hear their comrades being hit somehow, you know, so it sets them all off. They blow their horns, everything like that. But honestly, that charm where it's that the arrows are silent on impact, amazing. I'm not using focused hearing either. I'm just going around using my eyes, listening for the direction in which, you know, the Mongols like to growl in everybody's faces. He's at the door. You know, and I just want to make sure the hostages don't get killed, because that's mission failed. But truthfully, it's very fun doing it this way. See how quickly I loaded that arrow onto the bow? I love it. And as long as the horns aren't blowing, everything's okay. Of course, if need be, you know, throw a firecracker, lure them all into a big group, pop them all with explosive arrows if you have to. Something I've definitely done. So somebody saw that. He's standing there with question marks lying around his head, wondering where the hell it came from. That one next to him, he's gonna blow the horn. Well, didn't seem to matter too much. And now he's standing there just begging to be shot. Look at that. Thinking he's invincible. Just smashing his sword off of his shield. Love it. Here we are. Standard assassination. Yeah, and the eagles like to hang around on those poles, so just watch out for that. And of course, if you do kill an eagle and a Mongol happens to find its body, he is going to be alerted to it. Because their eagles are their allies. Now see this guy here, I shot him in the head. Now if I didn't have that charm on, that Mongol there, he would have heard that. That's how good it is. This one saw it, but he didn't hear it. Damn. Right in the side of the head. But I've said before, many of you, when you've watched my previous playthroughs, you know I've used this armor quite a lot, the Tadayori armor, and in many ways, like the Ghost armor, it's quite OP, depending on what you put on it, of course. But yes, that's how you do it. Tadayori's armor, absolutely, it's amazing. I love it. It's so much fun. So if you want to keep your distance and you want to max out your kills and you want to feel like Hawkeye when you're doing it, you know, this is the armor to use. You know, it's very fun. Up to you how you want to do it, of course. Up to you, but I highly recommend it. And like I said, it's a combination of samurai, archer, and ghost all in one, really. But it focuses primarily on the archery skills, obviously. Yeah, there you have it, folks. That's showcase number 3 done. I'm going to work on my 4th. I hope you enjoyed this one. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.